What's going on, boys? Welcome everybody back to another video. It's a new day, it's a new objective, and what a card. I remember he had an 83 rated inform at the beginning of the game. I used him in my starting team for over 100 games, and he genuinely felt like a budget Patrick Vieira, and now I'm using base Vieira. I can confirm they actually felt very similar. Today EA have released an 86 rated headliners Denis Zakaria objectives, and I mean we're going to go through them. If you guys are new to these objective guides, it's the most popular on the channel. Essentially what we do, we go over all of these, I give you guys my tips and tricks, and the most anticipated part of the video is a squad builder that I build that you guys can use. Now without further ado, boys, let's get into it. As well, if you are new as well, make sure to smash like and subscribe. I'm going to get this video out. It's currently 7 AM. I've just had like 3 hours sleep, but I had to wake up to get this video out, and then I'm probably going to focus on some of the new Team 2 headliners cards, so let me know which cards you guys would like to see reviewed. Without further ado, boys, let's get into it. Starting off, we've got a score using a CDM in a win in the live FUT Friendly. Now this has to be a CDM in the starting in the CDM position. You could play a CDM in the CDM position and then move him up to a striker in game if you want to. So if I want to say my tip for this score using him, you could obviously try and get the win and then push for the goal with a CDM, because if you do like just necessarily target that CDM before actually, you know, trying to get the win, if that makes any sense, right? You know, when you're doing an objective and you try and get like 2 birds with 1 stone, so you might be through on goal with your striker, but you could score, you could go 1 up, but instead you pass it back to your CDM to try and get that goal. It's a little bit risky and it could bite you in the arse. So personally what I'll do is I'll try score 1-2 goals first, and if your opponent isn't doing golden goal, which we'll get into in a second, then you can try and find your CDM and do it that way. But another thing you can do is position change. This way will cost a little bit, because it's like, I think probably 7 or 8,000 coins for the position changes all up, but you can get a striker. Let's say your striker that you're using, let's say we're going to be using Aubameyang. You'd make Aubameyang from a striker to a centre forward to a cam to a centre mid, and centre mid to a CDM, and then you can move him up to striker in game. He will count as a CDM that way, but that is a long way. The easier way, but the more expensive way. It's just 5 goals with crosses in the live FUT Friendly, which is simply just square on the PlayStation and X on the Xbox, but if you do a low driven cross or like a lobbed cross, that will also count towards it. I do recommend a low driven cross, which is a, I'm pretty sure it is right bumper plus cross, and you can, I think it's an early cross is what it's called. Win 4 matches in the live FUT Friendly headliner challenge, and score in 10 separate matches in the live FUT Friendly headliners challenge. Now let's go have a look, boys. Let's have a look at the headliners challenge actual friendly game mode and what the game, or what EA are asking for requirements with that. I think, is it max chemistry? If it's going off of the same of the Felipe Anderson one, I'm pretty sure it's max chemistry, right? So you need at least 7 leagues. You can have at most 1 lone player, and the rules is obviously max chemistry. Now the good thing about this, you can build whatever team you want, because there is no, like, you know, score with Bundesliga players, score with Switzerland players. Genuinely, there is no limits. You can use any players you want, and you need at least 7 chemistry. But I mean, or 7 leagues, sorry. But chemistry obviously doesn't matter, as a game mode is 1 league. With this one, as I said, you can have, there's no like rating requirements on it, so you could build your own team. I do recommend literally using your own team if it does have at least 7 leagues in it. If your main team doesn't have at least 7 leagues in it, what you can do is just chuck in some players off a bench or buy some players for cheap. For example, my team has got Ligue 1, Icons, and Premier League. So I've only got 3 leagues in my main team, right? But on the bench, we've got some La Liga boys on the bench, so I could just chuck Hazard for Stoichkov. Boom, that's now 4 leagues. And then obviously you can suit your club. I know I've got some of the Eredivisie objectives, so realistically you should be able to just use your main team for this. There we go, we've got an Eredivisie in David Neres. We've got a Saudi League in Anderson, so we can just chuck him in. We could chuck him in for Ben Yedder, etc, etc. So for this one, you could legitimately just use your main team, but rotate it a bit to make sure, it's just a counting game, making sure you've got at least 7 leagues. Remember, Icons as well do count as a separate league. But I still have gone ahead and decided to just build a cheap meta team for you guys. Now this team is coming in at a small price of literally 10,000 coins, even cheaper. You've got the 7 leagues, you've got the Premier League, La Liga 2, Saudi League, Championship, MLS, Serie A, Bundesliga. Did I say Bundesliga? Yeah, and the Bundesliga. So you've got 7 leagues in this one. Now I've gone for the 4-2-3-1 formation. At striker, we have gone for Richarlison. Striker doesn't really matter too much, but I just thought he was a relatively meta striker. 4-star, 3-star, 5'11". He's always been a meta boy. Good pace, solid shooting with some good dribbling. We've actually gone for, as I said, a 4-2-3-1. Two reasons. You've got the three cams. The left cam and the right cam, they really do work as if they are wingers in a way, and you do need to assist with crosses or score from crosses in this game mode, right? So having that right cam and left cam is just an extra option going down the left, so you can try and cross it in and target Richarlison. We've gone for Robertone. He is actually 4-star, 4-star. He's 5'9" with 91 agility. Tell me this card doesn't look underrated. 85 pace as well, so he's just kind of like a fast, good agility, 91, 5'9", 4-star, 4-star, 86 stamina, finish shot and flair trait, get down the wing and cross it in. Central cam, we've actually gone for Mariano, whose team of the season last year was absolutely nuts, so he'd probably be all goods in game as well. Obviously with this, it was just kind of more of a fact trying to find lower rated, lower league, good meta cards. Right cam, we've gone for another Argentinian cam who looks underrated, playing in the Saudi league. 5'8", high-low, 4-star skill moves, a terrible weak foot, but he is left-footed. He's got amazing agility with 87 balance, some good pace. His shooting's not crazy, with 65 finishing. He's got the flair trait as well. So what you're going to want to do with your right cam and left cam is try and target the crosses for Richarlison. Now, as for the CDMs, we have just gone for two relatively basic CDMs. Remember though, you have to score in 4 separate matches with them, or score in 4 separate wins, I think it is. But we have gone for Lerma, and at right CDM, we have gone for Roldan. I'm pretty sure it's how you pronounce, or Roldan, however it's pronounced. But he's high, 5'8", 4-star weak foot. He honestly looks so underrated in game. Same with this dude. They look really, really solid. 3-star, 4-star, medium high, etc, etc. But obviously with this one, what you could do is you could, if you're not scoring with them, you can keep your right cam and left cam, but in game, right? So you have to make sure you've got a CDM starting in a CDM position, chuck a pause in game, and you're probably out of Roldan and Luma. Who would you rather have as a cam? So he's got 56 finishing. Preferably none of them, but Roldan is the best of a bad bunch. So you just move him up to cam in game. And obviously, yeah, it's not great playing him at cam, but you're more likely to score with this card in game. So obviously, start him as a CDM, move him up to cam, central cam preferably in game, because it'll just make it easier to try and get that goal. As I said, there's one of two ways about it. You could splash your cash on a position modifier, and you can position modify a striker all the way down to a CDM and then move them up in game. So striker to centre forward to cam to centre mid, and centre mid to CDM, but that will cost minimum 10,000 coins. Left back, we've gone for Alphonso Davies. We all know how meta he is. Left centre back, we've gone for Tamori. Once again, very, very meta centre back with Klosterman, and right back Mbabu, and in net we have gone for Eduardo Mendy. Once again, just a double count: Premier League, La Liga 2, Saudi, Championship, MLS, Bundesliga, and for Serie A. Now boys, heading on over to the tips. If you do decide to use this team, you can use whatever bench you want. Obviously, remember it is full chem, so your bench players will get the 10 chem boost as well. Obviously, the squad builder with this one isn't as necessary, because literally, as I said, just use your main team, but fit some of the more players in to get the leagues, etc. But tip number one, nonetheless, is going to be to fill the bench up with your players. Now we're going to go on and head over to Footbin over here. I do have to mention I'm not sponsored. So have a look at some of these new cards out. You've got Vinicius, this is a nice team. Yeah, it's a very nice team. No Smith Robo, so I'm not happy. But anyways, heading on over to Footbin, I do have to mention I am not sponsored by Footbin or have any affiliation with them. I'm just using these guys as an example. Now what we're going to do, boys, is we are going to put some chemistry styles on them. Tip number 2 is essentially chem styles. Please as well ignore all of the ads. So 750 coins on the PlayStation, 750 on the Xbox. Now as you can see with chem styles, the different chem style you put on them, it makes their stats much better in game. Example, a Hunter on Richarlison, he goes from 83 pace and 78 shooting, and boom, 93 pace, 85 shooting. And as you can see here, in game, he performs as if he's an 86 rated. So although he's actually 82 rated with the correct chemistry style, he performs like an 86 rated. A marksman puts him to an 87 rated striker with 86 shooting, 92 dribbling, and an 86 physical. And what's another good one? I was going to say maybe a Gladiator, maybe a Deadeye. A Deadeye puts him to an 87 rated striker as well, 88 shooting, 81 passing, etc, etc. So essentially, boys, the moral of the story is chemistry styles. wrong screen, there we go, my face cam is back. Basically, chemistry styles, they can make them perform so much better in game. You don't have to go out and buy hunters for 4,000 coins and shadows for 5,000 coins. Suits your club. I've got 300 chem styles on me. Go to attackers, I've got 31 snipers. Simply gives a massive shooting boost and a massive physical boost. I'd avoid putting hunters on them and shadows because they are expensive and you don't want to waste them. But I mean, just that extra shooting and physical boost in game on that Richarlison may just be the difference. Lads, that's me for today. I'm going to go over the objectives once again just to kind of, you know, clarify and make sure that it is going to work for you guys as well. If you have got any questions, please let me know down below. So the score using a CDM in a win, as I said, you can either position change a striker down or CDM, or you could do what I did and just move your Roldan or whoever your CDM is up to cam in game. It's just 5 goals with crosses. That's why we did go for the 4-2-3-1. Not only do you have 2 CDMs, so you're more likely to score, but you've got the right and left cam, so you're more likely to score from a cross. And remember as well, lobbed crosses and early time crosses do count as an assist with a cross. Win 4 matches in the Headliners Challenge and score in 10 separate matches with the Headliners Challenge. Something I did forget to mention is actually tip 3, which I kind of completely forgot, is golden goal. Obviously not everyone's doing golden goal, but if you are doing golden goal, simply change your team name to golden goal. Essentially, if you score first, your opponent will quit, and if your opponent scores first, you'll quit. Not everyone will be doing this, but I'd say, looking at these objectives, I think people trying to get the CDM, oh actually it's only 1 win anyway, you only need to get it in 1 win, which is nice. So if you can get the CDM 1 out of the way, you could just focus and do golden goal for the remaining 9 or 8 of the score in 10 separate matches. Without further ado, boys, it's been your boy Davis. Subscribe if you did enjoy, if this did help you out, and until next time, peace out.